I'm 29, and last Monday, while I was sitting in the dentist's waiting room, I got the text that ended my relationship. My girlfriend, Selena, she's 27, had been acting strange for a few days. Lots of hushed phone calls. I figured it was just work stress or something minor. Then, at exactly 2:17 p.m., my phone buzzed. Selena wrote, "Hey babe, quick heads up. Victor is going through a rough time and needs a place to stay for a few weeks. He's moving in tonight. I know this is sudden, but it's not negotiable. He's in a bad spot and I owe him this." Victor, her ex, the guy she dated for 3 years before me, the one she swore was out of her life for good. I sat there, my mouth still numb from Novocaine, reading it over and over. Non-negotiable. In the apartment we'd been sharing for 8 months, where we split everything straight down the middle. And what did I do? I replied, "No problem, Selena." She shot back right away. "Really? Wow, thanks, babe. I knew you'd understand. He'll just be on the couch. Won't be in the way." I answered, "All good. Handle it however you need." Her response, "You're the best." But here's the part Selena seemed to forget. We were both on that lease. Sure, it was month to month, but either one of us could give 30 days notice to remove ourselves. And the security deposit? That was all mine, $2 for 100 I paid up front. She couldn't afford her half when we moved in and promised to pay me back. Never did. I left the dentist's office and went straight to work, acting like nothing had happened. I even texted Selena about dinner plans to keep her from suspecting anything. But in the background, I started making calls. First call, my buddy Marcus. Asked if I could crash at his place for a few days. He had a spare room, didn't ask a single question. Second call, our landlord, Mr. Thompson. Told him I needed off the lease immediately because of an urgent situation. He said normally it required 30 days, but if both tenants agreed, it could be sped up. Third call, my cousin who owns a moving company. Asked if he had a truck that night. He said yes. By 5 p.m., I was back home. Selena wasn't there, perfect timing. I started packing. Not in a rush, not in a fit of rage, calmly and deliberately. I took my clothes, my electronics, my kitchen stuff, since I'd bought most of it, my furniture, the TV, the nice couch, and my desk setup. I left her things behind. The old futon she dragged in from her last place, her random decorations, all of it. By 7 p.m., the truck was full. The apartment looked bare, but still livable. She had the basics left. Then I sat down and wrote a letter to leave on the counter. "Selena, you said Victor moving in wasn't negotiable. I respect that. You made your choice about what you need and I've made mine. I've moved out and started the process to remove myself from the lease. Mr. Thompson has your contact information. The rent, $1,850, is due on the 1st. Since I paid the full $2,400 security deposit, that will be returned to me once the lease ends. Best of luck with everything. P.S. The utilities are in my name. I'll be canceling them tomorrow at noon. You'll need to set up new accounts." I left my key on the counter, snapped photos of the apartment, spotless, no damage, and emailed them to Mr. Thompson, confirming my move out and making Selena the sole contact. Then I left. By 8 p.m., I was at Marcus's place with a cold beer in hand, phone turned off. Felt like tearing off a Band-Aid I'd been too scared to rip for months. The next morning, I turned my phone back on. 63 texts, 19 missed calls. Update 1. The meltdown was everything you'd expect, plus a few surprises. The text started around 9 p.m., right after she found my note. "Selena, what the hell? Where are you? This isn't funny. You took the TV. Call me now. How could you do this? Victor's here and there's nowhere for him to sleep. You're being so immature." Then came the calls. I ignored them. Her voicemail swung from confused, to angry, to sobbing, to outright rage. 3 a.m. "You need to grow up and come home. We can talk about this." 6 a.m. "The landlord called. What did you tell him? You can't just leave me with a full rent." 8 a.m. "The power company says the account is scheduled for disconnection. You wouldn't." By noon, she found out I absolutely would. The power shut off. That's when she switched gears and brought in backup. Her best friend Tasha called. What kind of man abandons his girlfriend when she's trying to help a friend in need? Her sister Marisol texted, Selena's crying. How can you be so heartless? Victor's practically homeless. And then a number I didn't recognize. Hey man, this is Victor. I don't know what your problem is, but Selena's really upset. Be a man and come sort this out. The nerve. Her ex texting me about being a man, while lying on my old couch. I only replied to Selena. One text. You said it wasn't negotiable. I agreed. My decision to leave isn't negotiable either. Any lease concerns? Take them up with Mr. Thompson. Then I blocked her. Blocked Tasha. Blocked Marisol. Blocked Victor. Went on with my day. But here's where things really got interesting. That night, Mr. Thompson called me. Mr. Thompson. Hi. I have Miss Delgado here. She says she can't cover the full lease and that you abandoned her without notice. Me. I gave notice yesterday. Sent documentation. She told me her ex was moving in and it wasn't negotiable. I chose to leave. Mr. Thompson. I see. Well, she's saying she can't afford the full rent and wants to keep it split. Me. That's between you and her now. I've officially withdrawn. Mr. Thompson. The problem is, if she can't carry the lease alone, I'll have to begin eviction. Rent's due in 5 days. Me. Understood. That's unfortunate, but not my issue anymore. Later, Marcus told me through the grapevine, his girlfriend heard from Tasha, that Selena was in full scramble mode. Victor, the guy she was supposedly helping, unemployed, had been couch surfing for months. He wasn't just broke. He was mooching her food and hogging her Netflix all day. When she begged him to leave so I'd come back, he refused. Said she'd promised him weeks and he wasn't budging. She'd already painted herself as this generous savior, so backing out would make her look bad. Meanwhile, the rent deadline was staring her in the face. Things were about to get ugly. Update 2. The first rolled around and Selena didn't pay the full rent. Tried to slip half $9.25 to Mr. Thompson. He rejected it. It was full or nothing. She had until the 3rd before late fees, and the 5th before eviction would kick in. On the 2nd, she emailed me from a brand new account since I'd blocked her everywhere. Subject line, please. Message, I can't afford this place on my own. You know that. I don't understand how you can be so cruel. Victor is leaving tomorrow, but the damage is done. I need you to come back at least for this month. I'll pay you back. Please don't do this to me. I ignored it. On the 3rd, the trick started. First, she showed up at my job. Told security she was my wife and we had a lunch date. I told them I wasn't married and asked them to escort her out. She made a scene, screaming about how I owed her money, until security physically removed her. That night, Marcus showed me her Instagram. She'd posted the sob story about being abandoned by someone she thought loved her, claiming she was facing homelessness thanks to a vindictive ex. The comments tore into me. People saying I was garbage, that she deserved better. Whatever. I don't even have Instagram. But then she crossed a line. She called my mom. My sweet, anxious mom who had no clue any of this was happening. Selena told her I'd abandoned her after she lost her job. I said she was pregnant. Huge lie. And even claimed I left her for another woman. Another lie. My mom called me sobbing. Took me an hour to calm her down, walking her through everything. I sent her screenshots of Selena's original text about Victor moving in. Once my mom saw the proof, she was furious. Nobody messes with her son. Apparently, after I calmed my mom down, she called Selena herself. And in her words, she gave that girl a piece of my mind about lying to a mother. By the 4th, Selena's desperation kicked in. Somehow, she found my new address, probably by trailing me from work, and showed up at Marcus's place. And she didn't come alone. She brought Victor. Victor. The nerve of this guy was unbelievable. Marcus answered the door while I stayed in the living room, listening to everything. Selena, I need to talk to him. This is insane. Marcus, he doesn't want to talk to you. Please leave. Victor, listen, bro. We're all adults here. Your boy needs to take responsibility. Marcus, responsibility? You're freeloading in what was his apartment, and you want to lecture about responsibilities? Selena, I'll call the cops. He stole my furniture. Marcus, everything he took was his. I helped him move it. Go ahead, call them. They didn't call. After a few more rounds of yelling, they stormed off. The next day, the 5th, Mr. Thompson called me. Eviction papers had already been filed. Selena had 30 days to move out. She tried bargaining, offered to find a new roommate, but Anderson wasn't having it. Without someone ready to sign the lease immediately, there was no deal. That evening, I got an email from Victor's account. But the wording made it obvious it was Selena typing. "You've made your point. I never should have said it wasn't negotiable. I should have talked to you first. But this has gone too far. I'm going to be evicted. Is that what you wanted, to see me homeless? Please, I'm begging you. Come back and we can fix this." This time, I actually responded, "Selena, you made a decision about our home without me. I made one about my life. The difference is I didn't force it on you. You chose your ex over us, and that was your right. The fallout is yours to deal with. Stop contacting me. Stop reaching out to my family. Stop showing up at my job. Any more of this and I'll file for a restraining order. The apartment issue is between you and Mr. Thompson now." After that, I set up an email filter to send anything from her or Victor into a folder in case I needed it for legal reasons. Still, she had one last card to play. Final update. The next 3 weeks turned into a crash course in entitlement. First, she tried the legal route. Somehow scraped together money for a lawyer, who sent me a demand letter. It accused me of constructively evicting her by removing myself from the lease, and claimed I owed 3 months' rent as damages. I didn't even stress. Forwarded it to my uncle, he's a lawyer. He actually laughed out loud reading it, then sent back a reply basically saying, "My client gave proper notice and followed the law. Your client's decision to invite her ex to move in, knowing she couldn't afford the apartment alone, is not my client's problem." That was the end of that. Next came smear campaign 2.0. She started messaging my extended family on Facebook, people I hardly ever talked to, claiming I abandoned her and left her homeless. Most ignored her, but my Aunt Joyce did call me worried. Once I explained what actually happened, Aunt Joyce's response was priceless. "So she thought she could have both you and her ex living in the same place? That girl doesn't need sympathy. She needs therapy." Meanwhile, the eviction went forward. She stalled it for a week by claiming hardship, but in the end, she was out. And here's where it almost got sad, if it wasn't so predictable. The minute the eviction was final, Victor vanished. As soon as she no longer had an apartment for him to freeload in, he remembered he had other friends to stay with. Left her behind to pack alone. She tried calling me, crying about it. Straight to voicemail. I deleted it without listening. But the kicker came the following week. I ran into Tasha at a coffee shop. She tried to pretend she didn't see me, but I was already at the counter when she walked in. Couldn't avoid it. "Tasha, coldly hope you're happy. She's living with her parents now." Me, "That's unfortunate." Tasha, "She loved you. She was only trying to help someone." Me, "She made a choice. Adults have that right. So did I." Tasha, "You destroyed her life out of jealousy." Me, "No. She destroyed our relationship by moving her ex in without asking. I just chose not to bankroll it." Then Tasha hit me with something that actually made me laugh. Tasha, "She's telling people you were abusive, that you controlled her with money." Me, "The same people who know she couldn't even pay her half of the deposit? Who know I covered most of our dates because she was always broke. Yeah, good luck with that story." She stomped off after that. Not long after, one final email landed in my inbox. "Selena again, new account. I know you hate me. I messed up. Victor was a mistake. Moving him in was a mistake. Telling you it wasn't negotiable was a mistake. I've lost everything. My home, my relationship, my dignity. My parents are disappointed. I have to start over. I just wanted you to know I've learned my lesson. You don't owe me anything, but I needed to apologize. I hope you find someone who treats you better than I did." I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. She made her choices. She's the one who has to face the fallout. As for me, I'm good. Actually, better than good. I found a small studio. It's nothing fancy, but it's mine. No drama. No surprise roommates. No unilateral decisions about my living space. Marcus and I ended up closer than ever. He told me watching me stay calm through all of it taught him a lot about self-respect and boundaries. His girlfriend even uses me as an example to her friends about not tolerating nonsense. My mom? She still sends me random texts like, "Proud of you for standing up for yourself." And apparently, She's told the entire extended family about the girl who tried to trap me. Selena has basically become family folklore now, and not in a flattering way. Oh, and the deposit? Got the whole $2,400 back last week. Mr. Thompson said the place looked great, which made sense since I'd taken care of it. That money went straight into savings. I'm thinking about using it for a solo trip. Somewhere quiet. No drama. No negotiations. The lesson I took away is simple. When someone tells you that something about your shared life is not negotiable, believe them. They're showing you exactly where you stand. And remember, you're allowed to be just as firm in your response. She wanted to play the not negotiable card. I just played mine better. These days, I'm living my best life. Alone, peaceful, and in full control of who gets access to my space. That's it, folks. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride.